हरे
राम 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 हरे हरे।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today is Friday. It is the 12th of September. It is Ashwini Masa or Padmanabha Masa, Krishna Paksham, and Sashti Tithi. So there are no Vaishnav events in the calendar. So we shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so demigods said they were offering their prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in order to get the um, blessings or the mercy of the Lord in order to carry out their universal functions. So in the last sloka of the yesterday's prayers, Tato Vayamat Pramuka Yadate Bhavuvatman Karvama Kinte Swamna Sachakshu Paridehi Tekya Dev Kriyadhe Yadanagrahanam. Oh, my dear Lord, for whatever the purpose that you have created us for, and in order to carry out those functions, so please grant us, please award us those energies and the knowledge to carry out the functions. And also it is a karvama kinte, only for your pleasure, not for, we are created not for our sense gratification, we are created in order to fulfill your desires. Bhabuvatman karvama kinte kimte, so unto you. Tumna sajakshuhu paridehi sekya, and also they were mentioning to give the knowledge and also paridehi, so please award us sekya Deva Kriyadhe Yed Anugrahanam. Yed Anugrahanam. We are all to be favored by you. So there is no one else that we can be favored by anyone else except yourself. So Yed Anugrahanam. So in such a way, demigods they have completed their prayers, and all these prayers. So this narration is Maitreya Rishi, Maitreya Muni. He is mentioning to Vidura. So with that one, chapter 5 is completed, and we are going to enter into chapter number 6. It is the um, Vishwarupa Srishti of the. So today, so because of all these things, the demigods could not function. So now they have prayed, and still these demigods are in the everything is in the dormant state. So just moving into the chapter 6. So it is the creation of the universal form. So here, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has heard the prayers of all the demigods. Now, what he is going to do, that we would see. So Maitreya is mentioning this. He has heard the prayers. It is in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 6, verse number 1. Rushir Uvacham इति तासां स्वशक्तीनां सतीनाम् असमेत्य सहं प्रसुप्तलोकतन्त्राणां निशाम्य गतिमीश्वरः इति तासां स्वशक्तीनां. So Rishi Uvacha. So sometimes Maitreya Muni, like it is mentioned Maitreya Muni, sometimes Rishi. So it becomes like a Rishi and also Muni. Iti tasam. So thus their swasaktinam and their own potency. Swasaktinam. Satinam asametya saham. Satinam. So situated. Asametya without combination, without amalgamation. they could not carry out. They're all individually standing. Asametya Saha, and Saha is the Lord. Prasupta Loka Tantranam. Prasupta, and they have activities are suspended. Without combination, their activities are suspended. Prasupta Loka Tantranam in the universal creations. Nishamya. So here, Nishamya is the hearing. So who is hearing? Here this word is coming. Saha is the Lord, and the Nishamya, he is looking here. Prasupta Loka Tantranam, the Lord is looking like that, hearing the prayers of demigods. Gatim Ishvaraha, the progress, and also Ishvaraha, the Lord. इति तासां सुशक्तीनां सतीनाम् असत्यमेसः प्रसुप्तलोकतन्त्राणां दिशाम्य गतिमीश्वरः. Translation. The Rishi Maitreya said, the Lord thus heard about the suspension of the progressive creative functions of the universe due to the non-combination of his potencies, such as the Mahatattva. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, can I request Jagruti Kanna Mataji to read the purport? Small purport, if Mataji is available. Jagruti Mataji. Mataji is not available. Adevait Mataji, would you like to read that small purport, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, yes, thank you. There is nothing wanting in the creation of the Lord. All the potencies are there in a dormant state. But unless they are combined by the will of the Lord, nothing can progress. The suspended progressive work of creation can only be revived by the direction of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So here in this particular shloka, so everything without the glance of the Lord, so it cannot carry out the functions. Sometimes in one of the discussions of Srila Prabhupada with his disciples, so they say that Lord is dormant. So after the creation, Lord is dormant. And Prabhupada was explaining how can the Lord is dormant, and then I am here, I have created the society, activities are going on, but I am here presently, you are seeing me here. And then because I'm just giving, sanctioning each and every activity, directing, so things are going on. Maya Adhyakshena, Prakriti, Hi Suide Sacharacharam. So without the grant of the Lord, activities cannot go. So here, all the potencies are there in the dormant state, but activities are there. But Lord is present, but activities are there. Savaikilayam Purushaha Puratno Ekasid Avisheshatmani Agre Gunebhyo Jagadatmaneshvare Nimilitatma Nishishupta Sektishu. So all these living entities, essentially, they will be in the dormant state in the body of the Lord, body of the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. But later on, सैव भूयो निजवीर्योदम स्वजीवमायं प्रकृतिं सिसृक्षतिं अनामरूपात्मनि रूपनामनि विदित समानो अनुससार शास्त्रकृत सवायं यत्पदमत्र सूर्यो जितेन्द्र निर्जिता मातरिश्वनः पश्यन्ति भक्ति उत्कलितामलात्मना नन्वेषु सत्वं परिमाष्टुमर्हति. And then the Lord says that all these living entities are now in the dormant state, and then when the day is started, then all the living entities again they will get the name, form, and then activities and everything. And also Bhakti Utkalita Amalatmana. In order to carry out their functions in the devotional service, he also awards knowledge. He also keeps the knowledge in an accessible way through the Vedas and Puranas, like that, so that they understand the relationship between this is Sambandha, Videya, Prayojan, how they can come out of this material entanglement. So here coming to this dormant state, even though from the body of, so in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 26th chapter of third canto only, so here Kapila Bhagavan describes the fundamental principles of the material nature. All the creation takes place from the Virat Rupa, all the demigods and also corresponding senses, and then these are all manifested. But even though they were manifested, they are all not able to function themselves. So here, so Virata Purusha would not rise. There is one of the element. It is called Chaitya or consciousness. As soon as the Lord, so here, however, when the inner controller, the deity presiding over consciousness, entered the heart with the reason, at that very moment, the cosmic being arose from the causal waters. So before that, if we look little bit, there are so many other things. So Brahma also entered his heart with intelligence, but even then, cosmic being could not be prevailed upon get up. Lord Rudra also entered in the heart with ego, but then also cosmic being did not stir. But whenever the inner controller, the deity presiding over consciousness, this is the consciousness, entered the heart with reason, at that very moment the cosmic being arose from the causal waters. So when a man is sleeping, all his material assets, namely the vital energy, the senses for recording knowledge, the senses for working the mind and the intelligence, cannot arouse him. He can be aroused only when the super soul helps him. When the super soul helps him. So therefore, through the devotion, attachment, and advancement in spiritual knowledge acquired through concentrated devotional service, one should contemplate that super soul as present in this very body, although simultaneously apart from it. So this is as part of the activities of the material nature. So here, all the demigods are manifested from the Virat Rupa, but they cannot function. It is a further expansion of the shloka that we have been discussing here. But this is Maitreya Muni mentioning. Later on, Maitreya Muni only speaks to Vidura in a detailed way, the conversation of Kapila Bhagavan and Devahuti Mata. So here, at the moment, all potencies are there in a dormant state. But unless they are combined by the will of the Lord, nothing can progress. Okay, so that is again by the will of the Lord. The suspended progressive work of creation can only be revived by the direction of the Lord. Maya Jakshena Prakriti. Okay, so that is from this particular shloka. There is not much to explain. So at the moment, in the next shloka, it would be described that we would see later. So this is Itidasham Susiktinam Satinam Asametya Saha Prasupta Lokatantranam Nishyami Gatimishwaraha. Nishyamya, Lord is hearing the prayers of demigods. Okay, so whatever we are chanting every day, the Lord always hearing what is going on in our heart as well. He understands every moment. Okay, He awards according to our desires. Okay, now later on, Lord will award the required knowledge and also energy to the demigods. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, so we shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So this daily letter, yesterday it was a very long letter, and also we just took a kind of, it is good to read by the devotees. Can I request Saranya Mataji again to read this letter?
Hare Krishna. My dear Achyutananda Maharaja, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated October 29, 1970 and noted the contents. Regarding taking introduction from some persons to their friends for making life members, so depend on others' introduction, do not do your own work. Regarding your feelings of disruptions to your preaching program since others have come in, when I was in Los Angeles, you repeatedly asked me to send at least 10 men. Now the men have come and you say something else. You want to have Kirtan also, so which point shall I accept? Regarding the regarding the validity of the Brahmanical status as we accept it, because in the present age there is no observance of the Garbhadana ceremony. Even a person born in Brahmana family is not considered a Brahmana. He is called Dvija Bandhu or unqualified son of a Brahmana. Under the circumstances, the conclusion is that the whole population is now Shudra, and it is stated Kalo Shudra Sambhava. So, for Shudras, there is no initiation according to the Vedic system, but according to Pancharatrika system, initiation is offered to a person who is inclined to take Krishna consciousness. During my Guru Maharaj's time, even a person was coming from a Brahmana family, he was initiated according to the Pancharatrika system, taking him to be a Shudra. So the birthright Brahmana is not applicable at the present moment. The sacred thread inaugurated by my Guru Maharaj according to Pancharatrika system and Haribhakti Vilasa by Srila Sanatana Goswami must continue. It does not matter whether the priestly class accept it or not. When my Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, introduced this system, it was protested even by the inner circle of God brothers or friends. Of course, he had actually no God brothers, but there were many disciples of Bhaktivinoda Thagura who were considered as God brothers who protested against the action of my Guru Maharaja, but he didn't care for it. Actually, one who takes to chanting Hare Krishna mantra offenselessly immediately becomes situated transcendently, and therefore he had no need of being initiated with sacred thread. But Guru Maharaj introduced this sacred thread because a Vaishnava was being mistaken as belonging to the material caste. To accept a Vaishnava in a material caste system is hellish consideration. Naraghi Buddhi. Even to save the general populace from being offended to a Vaishnava, he persistently introduced the sacred thread ceremony, and we must follow his footsteps. Regarding Dr. Sen's grandson's theory of species, if they are species, the species, horse, is a kind of species. It draws a cart. The ass is another kind of species. He carries load. So ass is never engaged for drawing a cart. If Brahmanas are a species and Vaishyas and Shudras are other species, why do we see that sometimes a Brahmana does a Shudra's work? We have got many Negro disciples and they are worship the deity. So why they should not worship the deity? Krishna says he accepts the service even from the Paba Yoni, those who have taken impious birth. Actually, Krishna does not say that the caste is determined according to species, but according to the quality of work, the divisions of societies are made. Narada says one must be judged according to his qualification, even he is in a different class or species. Still, he should be accepted according to the qualities which he exists, that is Brahmana, etc. Sridhara Swami says birth is not so much important as quality. You have very wrongly remembered something about Sridhara Swami's view. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that if one is Vaishnava, immediately he becomes qualified for executing Vedic rites. About this verse, Srila Jiva Goswami remarks that the Brahmana awaits the sacred ceremony, but a Vaishnava is qualified to execute the Vedic rites without waiting for sacred ceremony. The real fact is that because of non-observance of Garbhadhana Samskara in this age, there is no real Brahmana by birth at all, and even they cannot be called Dvijabandhus properly because there has not been no such observance for long time. Kalo Shudra Sambhava, the claim of Brahmanism by birthright is a false display of material situation only. It is our duty, therefore, to train all kinds of men up to the standard of qualified Brahmanas, initiating them as such by qualification in accordance with the above authorities, so that they may go on progressively unhindered in their march back to home, back to Godhead. This system introduced by my Guru Maharaj is a chance for all the members of the society, scientifically based and applied, apart from exploitative statement birthright caste system, to become actually situated on the transcendental platform. The literal meaning of the term Brahmana is one who is Brahma Bhuda, or on the theoretical stage of Brahma Jnana. since it is one of the progress from the stage of Brahma Jnana to the stage of knowledge of Paramatma and then the knowledge of Bhagavan, one has to come to the first stage, Brahma Jnana, is automatically a Brahmana fully qualified as such. So for a Vaishnava who has come to the highest stage of knowing Bhagavan, naturally he has already established his qualification of Brahmana. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Any reflections, Mataji, from this letter?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, so in this letter, the point Prabhupada wanted to uh, convey to this devotee Achyutananda Maharaja was that maybe Achyutananda Maharaja mentioned something about the persons who newly joined is not from a Brahmana family, so they are making something else, like the preaching work is hindered in some way. So that is what maybe this Maharaj was explaining or mentioning to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada, right in all these letters, the point Prabhupada was mentioning is like that the basic thing, the Sanatana Dharma, actually the system is not based on the birth. It's based on the qualities one has. Doesn't matter which family or from whom one is born, where he is born. It's only about the inclination of the soul and the nature of the soul. So nature of that particular person. So and previous days, of course, the Garbhadana Samskara was followed, but now nobody is following that in the community. That system is completely like gone. So Prabhupada was mentioning everyone in this society now is like Shudra. So there is no nothing like that Shudra, Vaishyas, Kshatriya or Brahmana exist now. So everyone is Shudra. So the only system, only way we can classify them into, take them into the higher consciousness or higher way of living is to is through the process introduced by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. So that is the initiation process. So when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj started this process, also there was like opposition or the people opposed that. But Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj did it confidently because there should be some way that in this Kali Yuga also people can take shelter. So in that way, Prabhupada is also following the same way. So if they are like following the regulatory principles, they are doing the whatever their Guru Maharaj has told them, and if they are living a life full of like following the virtues, they can be initiated. And if they have the proper knowledge, they can be promoted as sannyasis or in the higher stage, and they can accept disciples also, because there should be some ways for spirituality also. And another thing Prabhupada was saying, like the word Brahmana means the one who know the Brahman. So that is what is like Brahmana. So in our thing, we not only know the Brahman, we know the next stage Paramatma and the next stage Bhagavan. So the three realization we already like realized, or at least we know like in these Prabhupada's books it is explained. So at the next stage, people who know the level of Bhagavan, they are already qualified to become a Brahmin. So only this institution, Prabhupada's institution, is what is giving a Brahmanical initiation to like Negroes and Africans, or all the people, irrespective of where they are coming from. We have many like Sanatana Dharma organizations or like spiritual chains, but when it comes to like sannyasa initiation or something, always we feel like they are not qualified, even though there are many things like one god, one root, like that. But still, when it comes to the reality, it's all about the birth things and all. But Prabhupada was very much confident in that, very much compassionate. Prabhupada give initiation if they are qualified, if they are following the things. Prabhupada give initiation. Prabhupada made them sannyasis, and they followed the route. So yeah, Prabhupada was all this letter. Prabhupada was mentioning that point, like the qualification is not by birth, but by action and the nature. So that is what my understanding, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Very nicely summarized. Okay, any other comments, dear devotees, you wanted to add? Sanchita Mataji wanted to add anything? Devet Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, no, absolutely not. Mataji has so beautifully explained the whole thing. No, there's nothing more to add. Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Any other comments, reflections? So that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So here, one point Prabhupada mentions, Krishna says he accepts service from the Papa Yoni, that even those who have taken impious births also. So the Lord is not only for the Brahmanas, the Lord is for everyone. If a father begets children, intelligent children, some are courageous children, some are weak children, some are sometimes even the mental stability, they do not have proper mental stability as well. So such kind of children, but father gives the love equally to all the children. All children are equally desired to receive the mercy of the father. So here, but here, intelligent child, the Brahmanas, and they must be knowing the intention of the Lord or desire of the father, and then they engage, and also he helped the rest of the family or his siblings. So how to elevate themselves, coming nearer to the Father or the Lord. Okay, so one point here that we would see here from the Prabhupada. But here Brahmana does. So why do we see that sometimes Brahmana does a Sudra's work? It is not that he wanted to do it. So here it is for the purpose of the Father, to fulfill the desires of the Father, not that they wanted to do it. So because we need to do it. So as a matter of duty, while carrying out the activities for the sake of the Father, we can do it. So sometimes one of the statements, I think in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was he was absorbed in the pastimes, remembering Krishna. Likewise, sometimes he used to lie next to the door, and then it is not possible for other people to go inside. So because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was lying there in that condition, so Govinda, who was serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during that time, looking after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's health, and then such personal assistant. So, in order to feed him or to look after him um, or to worship the Lord, so sometimes one should not cross on the body of the Lord or any person as well. But for the sake of the Lord, he has crossed the body of the Lord once. For what purpose? To serve the Lord. And then once he did that one, and then it was time for him to have the prasadam. But at that time, he could not go and have the prasadam because he cannot do it for his personal purpose. When he is doing for the Lord, he can do. Likewise, why do we see that sometimes Brahmana does this with the work? Means it is for the sake of the Lord, not because that he want to do it. For the sake of the Lord, we can cross the rules that Prabhupada mentions. For the sake of the Lord, whatever the nonsense business, we can take it. Whatever the risk it is, we can take it for the sake of the Lord, not for ourselves. When it comes to ourselves, we need to follow rules and regulations. Okay, so that is one point that we see that one. So, and again, this is again according to the Varnashrama Dharma, this particular paragraph. And then further, Prabhupada is describing about the Garbhadana Samskara, how the living entities needs to be elevated. starting from Garbhadan, we invite the pure soul into our family. It is not that we just not some nonsensical desired souls. We do not want. We wanted a devotee souls invite such kind of souls into our home, pious souls, so that all entire our family would be elevated, become the devotees of the Lord. So many generations. It is not just for ourselves. We need to say what is going to happen in the next 10,000 years, 100,000 years. We need to see all those things. We need to create a history. We need to create the legacy for the next generations. How to live a pure life. It is not, if we compromise a little bit now, our children, they will compromise maybe more times. If we follow strictly, then they will also follow strictly in the next generations. But of course, as the dharma goes down, gradually things will be dwindled, principles will be dwindled. But as much as possible, we need to have a proper rules and regulations to be followed, starting from the Garbhadan Samskara, inviting the pure souls into our family who can carry out the legacy for so many generations. In our previous ancestors, millions of people, millions of the fathers might have gone. So that we need to make sure that that is the purpose of Garbhadan Samskar, invite the pure souls into our family. That's why when Kunti Mata and Pandu, they were inviting the souls. Initially, Yudhishthira Maharaj, so in the womb of Kunti Devi, they have called the Yamadharmaraja. Next is Vayu Deva. Later on, whenever to have a courageous, strength, intelligent, all such kind of things. So they have performed 1 year of austerities. And then Kunti Mata invited Indra to beget Arjuna. So this is not a small thing. It is not a man and woman thing. We need to go through Garbhadan Samskara for our children. Whoever is getting married, if we just make sure the husband and wife following all those rules and regulations, and then that ceremony would take place. Out of the Dashavida Samskaras, it starts from Garbhadana, and then it ends with the offering the oblations after leaving the tarpanas. Once that person leaves the body by that tarpana, that is the last samskara or the further ceremonies. Okay, starting from Garbhadana to the ending. This is funeral ceremonies. Okay, so that is about our samskaras. Prabhupada is describing here. That is my reflection. And the devotees, if you have got any other comments, you wanted to share anything, share.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Regarding the today's purport, not purport, the translation, there was a line, non-combination.
Yes.
Can you explain it a bit, Prabhu? I did not get that properly. Due to the non-combination of his potencies.
Yes.
Can you explain it a bit, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
So here, in the previous shloka, in the previous chapter, that is the 5th chapter, just before the demigod prayers, in the 38th shloka, 43, 49, 38. So here, the controlling deities of all the above mentioned physical elements. So what are the physical elements they were created? First of all, Mahatattva, starting from the Pradhana, it is unmanifested. And then that is Yattatrigunam Abjektam Nityam Saddasadatmakam Pradhanam Prakritim Prahuhu Avishesham Visheshavat. Pradhana is the unmanifested, Prakriti is the manifested. And then from the Prakriti later in due course of time, Mahatattva. And from Mahatattva, the Ahankara would be manifested. That Ahankara is exhibited through goodness, passion, and ignorance. From the mode of goodness, mind is generated, mind is manifested, and all the demigods are manifested. And from the mode of the passion, the all the indriyas, jnanendriyas, karnendriyas, they were manifested. And from the mode of ignorance, the sound got generated. And then that is all the 5 tanmatras and 5 panchbhutas, they got generated. Tanmatras, panchbhutas. From the mode of ignorance, 10 elements. And from the mode of passion, 10 elements. And from the mode of goodness, mind and the demigods, they all got generated. And also the intelligence, it is also comes from the mode of passion. So here, when all these material elements got generated, the physical elements are the controlling deities of all the above mentioned physical elements are empowered expansions of the Vishnu. They are embodied by eternal time under the external energy, and they are his part and parcels because they were entrusted with different functions of universal duties and were unable to perform them. They offered up fascinating praise to the Lord as follows. This non-combination means we just get all the ingredients from the shop, but we do not prepare the dish yet. So for that, we need a person. The cook is required. The Lord's presence is required so that they will be amalgamable. Demigods and then the material ingredients, how they will, and also demigods also need to have knowledge how to utilize those elements and to carry out these functions. So that is, so here it is one more statement, previous sloka also. O gentle one, of the physical elements, beginning from sky down to earth, all the inferior and superior qualities are due only to the final touch of the glance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Until that thing, the glance of Supreme Personality of Godhead, that amalgamation, that process cannot take place. So here in this next shloka, in the 6th chapter, the first shloka, non-combination. So they are unable to carry out without the glance. So that one, Maitreya Muni is mentioning.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Mataji. So that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter and the purport. And from the announcements point of view, so today Friday, we don't have any evening sessions in our Sangha, but tomorrow we continue tomorrow morning Bhagavatam. After that, Brahma Samhita continues. And tomorrow evening, it is a Bhagavad Gita, our regular Bhagavad Gita session. Okay, so we do by ourselves. This is updates, regular updates from our Sangha and dear devotees. If you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, the recitation also for the previous chapter.
Yes, yes. So recitation is now shared in the group that posted. Some devotees have already
Oh,
chosen.
okay.
They have chosen. So thank you, Mataji, for reminding that one. So yes, before Brahma Samhita, we also recite the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. And the devotees, any updates from any devotees or from the temple, or you want to share anything, kindly share. Okay, if there are no updates, we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय।
Prabhupada.
प्रभुपाद की जय।
Hare Krishna conscious day, everyone. Jai Shri Krishna.